Hey guys, let's talk about Human Centipede.
Okay. Basically, let me explain. We were just all having a chat. And then somehow we got onto the topic of the movie Human Centipede. And then we quickly stopped and said, let's get this on the podcast. Because if you're going to talk about the Human Centipede movie, make sure that it is recorded. Make sure it's recorded and distributed to the masses. I have a very clear memory. First of all, when that movie came out, everyone was saying it's this forbidden movie. And finally, they've gone too far. And I was on tour at the time. Do you remember this, Sona?
I do, because that's when I watched it.
That's my point, is that I'm on a tour bus, and I remembered once you finally got somehow a copy of it on your computer.
Yeah.
From the dark web.
On the dark web.
We were streaming
and
it.
So you went back with Megan Sinclair, photographer for the show, and you two went back in the bus to this back area and shut the door and watched it. And at one point I came in and looked at your faces, and it was if you had seen a black hole that was devouring the universe.
Yes.
And you just had this look of awe and horror. And I thought we were going to have to stop the bus at a hospital and have you guys treated for shock. And then later on, I just had to. So I watched Human Centipede. And then, of course, we started doing tons of bits. We had a Human Centipede menorah on the show.
People should know, too, that this film from 2010 is, most people probably do know this, but the centipede is made up of 3 humans.
That's right.
The front, the middle, and the rear, and they're all stitched to each other by an evil doctor.
Yes.
Ass
mouth to ass.
Yeah.
Or, depends on which way you're facing.
Depends. Some people say mouth to ass. I prefer ass to mouth.
Okay.
But it all depends. It's you say tomato, I say tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. The original version, actually, of that song, written in the 30s, was you say mouth to ass, I say ass to mouth. Let's call the whole thing off.
That's what the Gershwins wanted.
I don't think it's the Gershwins.
Is it not the Gershwins?
I don't think so.
I thought it was the Gershwins.
I'm going to say Cole Porter.
Let me check it up.
If I'm right, I'm going to feel really good about myself.
I'm pretty sure Cole Porter wrote ass to mouth, mouth to ass.
I can tell you this, that this is absolutely the first time the Human Centipede and Cole Porter have been referenced in the same conversation.
Sorry, second time. Okay. I was giving a lecture not long ago on Cole Porter, and I brought up Human Centipede, and the whole crowd knew exactly what I was talking about.
Adam said it's the Gershwins.
Is it?
Okay.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Look at me.
Yep.
That was good.
Wow,
it's
nice
very
job.
rare that I know something that you don't know.
I thought that was a good guess, and I thought it was Cole Porter for some reason. But the point is, Human Centipede.
That's right. Back to ass to mouth.
Sewing humans together, ass to mouth, mouth to ass. And the thing that I was always trying to understand about that movie, and I did watch the movie, is there's a mad scientist, obviously, because there's always a mad scientist.
Yeah.
My guess is his credentials had been pulled at some point when he proposed the whole mouth to ass sewing. And anyway, he's this mad scientist, and he does this, and it's never clear why he thinks this is a good idea. It's never clear. There's no purpose for it. And then he acts like this is going to work somehow, but it doesn't. It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense on any level. And so I left the movie, instead of being titillated and shocked, I left being angry at the bad science. I felt like he had let me down.
That was your issue with the film.
My issue with the film is he didn't think this through.
Well, maybe it's a way to solve world hunger.
No, doesn't. What are you talking about?
Wow.
If it worked, if you could ingest someone's feces and then expel your feces into someone else's mouth, you don't need food.
We would have figured that out so long ago. We would have figured out. You think that this guy cracked the... if someone was like, oh my God, and listen, this conversation is taking a very dark turn, and I understand if you're driving the car right now, you need to pull over and stop it.
Yeah.
But if ingesting feces was something that worked and was pretty good and had a lot of nutritional value, I think humans would have figured that out year 3 of human existence. They wouldn't have figured it out in 2010, when some co-eds stumble into a kooky German professor's office in the rain, and he just hits on this idea. No, it doesn't work.
That's my problem with it. It's the rain. These 2 women go to this guy's house. He is creepy from the get-go. And they're like, yeah, this looks okay. And they go into his house.
Well, wait a minute. You're one to talk.
What?
You took no social cues when you were dating.
This is true.
I'm sorry. You just.
I know.
You would
have been in that centipede.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've many times told me stories about, I met this guy. He seemed really weird. He had a knife. He kept itching his chest.
Okay.
He was wearing a shirt that said, I murder. And what'd you do? Well, we went to a restaurant. Then we hung out at his house in the basement. And what happened? Well, he tried to stab me a couple times, but I was like, cut it out. What happened then? Well, a week later, I called him up and we decided to hang out in an old abandoned mine. You did? Yeah, what happened there? Well, he came at me with a flame, like a torch, and he tried to burn me. And I'm like, hey, knock it off with the burning. I just barely got away. What then? Well, I'm going to see him tomorrow. I'm meeting him.
He's taking me to see Human Centipede.
He's taking me to see Human Centipede. Oh, really? In a theater? No, it's his own screening room he built out of human skulls. Oh. Really? What's it projected on? Just giant sheets of human skin. Oh, but I think it'll be okay. That was you when you were single.
You know what? I would argue with you, but you're 100% correct. I went on the 4 worst dates of my life with the same guy.
Yes.
I think I've told you this.
Yeah.
And I think that by the 4th date, I was like, I loathe this person, but I'm going to just do it anyway.
Why?
I don't know. He was cute, I guess. I don't know.
So do you think you would be open to getting Human Centipeded then?
I don't think I'd be open to it, but I could see myself, like I'm judging these ladies who go into this guy's house and he's like, I'm going to drug you and whatever. But I would have probably done that.
Yeah, and I think what would have happened is he would have tried to sew you to the other person, something you would have escaped, run through the woods, but then come back the next day. To say, hey, do you want to watch this?
At least 4 times.
Do you want to watch? Hey, I've got a DVD. I've got a DVD that's pretty good. It's Escape from Witch Mountain. It's the second one.
Wait, the bigger moral quandary, and I always ask my wife Amanda this because she's an actor, is what would you guys do if you were given a role in this movie and you're a struggling actor, like I'm assuming these actors were?
I mean, the problem is it's that chance you take. I think it's very hard to recover from that role.
Clearly.
So I think if Dame Judi Dench had been in that movie, if they had made that movie in 1965 and Dame Judi Dench had been in it, and she's a magnificent actress, I don't know that she could recover and become a dame and become one of the leading actors in the world. Maybe she could. You know that all her interviews would be, well, anyway, pleasure to be here. I'm so nice to have my, second Oscar. What a wonderful, yes, we're anywhere. No questions about Human Centipede.
Imagine though if it was Judi Dench, Helen Mirren, and Ian McKellen.
Yeah,
Human Centipede.
Yeah,
they're the 3.
They were in it, and it was made in 1965, and all of them were in London South End. They were really starving. They needed the work. The Human Centipede came out, so it's those 3 fantastic actors in Human Centipede, and then they all managed to recover their careers and go on to big things. But if you bring it up, they just lose their minds. Yeah. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about it. No, I made this very clear with my publicist. We are not talking about Human Centipede. But I'm sorry, was it your ass? Wait, whose jaw was strapped to? It'd be like, was it Dame Judi Dench first, and then Ian McKellen? Like the order's important. And then you'd finally get Ian McKellen saying, well, I was very upset to be second. I think I should have been first. I should have been the first one receiving food. And then my feces should have been passed on, and he's still ranting and raving about it 40 years later.
And then the quarantine hit and they finally agreed to a Zoom reunion reread of the script.
This is to raise money. I love it. The 3 of them. It's to raise money for a good cause. To buy more masks and distribute them. And they're like, well, very well. Let's do this. Stark and stormy night, is it? Yes, it certainly is. Oh, look.
Oh my God.
In the rain, it's a German professor's home. Let's go have a... Yes, we'll go have a look. What? Drugged? Wait a minute, you're sewing my jaw to her ass? You monster.
I think you can recover if you were the first in the centipede. If you didn't eat any of the shit, then I think that you can recover. Your career is fine after that.
So you're saying as an actor, not as a human who's been
as an
grafted.
Actor, yeah.
As someone who's been eating shit on television for 28 years, I can tell you that it's survivable. Okay, out there on TV, being insulted by the best of them.
Oh God!
Let's
wrap this up before we inevitably get to the point where we try to figure out which position the three of us are in this thing.
Oh,
well, that ends it very quickly.
That is.
All right. Well,
awful.
Onward to better things. But hey, Human Centipede. I think there's some sequels. God knows what's in those, but. Check it out. Wait, why am I promoting that?
Why are you promoting
I don't know why. Available wherever things are shown.
What?
Made. I don't know. That was terrible. I apologize.
So bad.